We
This
good?
is season 4, SquadCast premiere, and that means one thing.
Oh no! We suck again!
Just like Waterboy and Rob Schneider said, suck again. It's a hard pill to swallow, Acid, but it's the facts. There's no alternative facts on this one.
That's all I'm gonna say is at least you lost to a CPU. You got nobody to blame but a computer. I got myself to blame on my week one. So,
Oh,
but
I
hey,
think I could blame myself as well.
hey, we only got to look up for. We could just look up and we just go. All right, we're good. It's just it can't get any worse than week one. That's all.
Ah, shit, that's what I thought last season.
Yeah, but you got new blood in your division, so you're good, man.
Yeah, yeah. The Colts fan, gamer tag, is now the Rams. For anyone that may be confused in the near future.
Yeah, the guy that won the division 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
got to be
yeah.
getting easier, a lot easier in that division, I say.
Chef's got to be drooling over there. You got a new user. Um, well, I mean, the Titans look to be making noise over there with a new coach at the helm. AFC South, a lot of unproven talent there. You got an chef. He never went back to the Twilight Zone. He stuck around. So it could get interesting, but I
And
mean,
an impressive win in Houston this
yeah,
week, or was it in Houston or in Cleveland?
Houston. I don't know where it was at, but I know Houston. I think it was in Houston. I think Cleveland lost in Houston.
Yeah, that one was probably the surprise of week one. I mean, we know we have our moments. I think everybody else knows we have our moments, but yeah, it's like last year all over again for the Browns, and I'm sure he's probably going, how do I miss the playoffs and then lose week one of the next season? I'm sure he's kicking himself right now. But it is only 1 week.
Well,
So,
all I know is I wouldn't want to play the Browns in week 2.
yeah, I'm glad I'm not. Watch him have like a bye week or something.
Out against all odds.
Yeah, it was in Houston. So, yeah, I mean, that's an impressive win. So, I think any way you shape it up, a lot of things we could take away from week one. And I think we start right there and just kind of. Do you want to kind of dissect that game a little bit before we get into everything else?
Yeah, we can jump into that Houston Cleveland game right away.
There's a couple new big additions to both of these teams. I think we should start right there with, I mean, probably one of the biggest free agent moves of the offseason in David Johnson. I mean, that's you got to
He
pay
put
to
up the
get
money. Yeah. I was looking at
you
that
got to
race
pay
for
for
a
those
little
guys.
bit, and it was definitely a very lucrative contract. But I mean, for someone that hasn't really hit that wall age-wise, got good legs, can cut, can catch. It's money worth it. So, money well spent.
Well, from what it looks like, Houston's defense kind of took over. I mean, this run game never really got started. It is only 1 week. I mean, but
It's
I,
hard
I
to
saw
say the
little chinks.
defense took over, though. It was more of a bend don't break performance. If I was to look at the stats, I mean, the Cleveland Browns had the ball for 19 and a half minutes almost, and they had 16 first downs. It seems like there was an efficient West Coast. Maybe it was check down. I'd feel like maybe the Texans weren't gonna allow that deep ball. They weren't gonna get beat deep. If they were going to get beat, they were going to make sure, Carlos went through his progressions, really had to look through that defense. He was looking for mistakes, and they both finished with 2 turnovers. So it's probably just points off turnovers and just a close game, really. I mean, no one scored even in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest takeaway is that run game. I mean, Crowell is probably one of the better backs now that he's been developed. and he only got 1 carry for 18 yards. And then you kind of look at the new addition in David Johnson, you go 16 carries and only 61 yards to show for it. And you're like,
Oof.
I mean, he's going to have to get used to this line and blocking in front of him. And they did lose a key piece of Taylor Decker on that line. So I wonder if that's going to be a factor. And I said the same thing last year. I mean, about the Browns and the Bills, because I took pieces from both of them on their offensive line. But it seems like after a couple of weeks, the offensive line seems to gel a little bit better. But those first couple of games, man, they show right away how that offensive line is not the same.
Yeah, it takes a few games of tweaking when you don't have some. If you don't have the Dallas O-line, there's going to be some moving parts usually throughout the season. And early on, I don't know if it reflects so much in the game, but I would agree with you that early on in the season, the defense probably has the edge on the O-line.
True. And the other takeaway is you look at the 2 quarterbacks from last year's rookie class, and Katula and Bowden. And both of them had good years, but they both showed a lot of signs that they needed to develop still.
Yep.
And
should be interesting sophomore campaigns.
And Bowden probably spent more time on the ground than he probably would have liked, being sacked 5 times this game. So
yeah,
it's week one.
I mean, for being sacked that many times, I mean, obviously there was no touchdowns, but to throw for a little over 200 yards and have a 64% completion, that shows poise in the pocket for a young quarterback, despite the 1 interception.
True enough. No, this is one of the bigger games that we probably didn't see coming this week, but when you start to actually kind of look into some of the more playoff race kind of games, the other AFC race I thought was it was the AFC title rematch, wasn't it? The Bengals and the Bills, week 1.
Yeah, 12-10.
Yeah,
for that one
what a field
right
goal
here.
battle! I love it. That's the kind of games that you don't expect week 1 when people are trying to figure out what their teams are good at. But
3
there's a lot to
turnovers
take
by
away
the
from
Bills from that game. Field position, good defense, time of possession sided with the Bengals fairly heavily, almost 50% more time. But
should we tip our cap to the eventual offensive rookie of the year / MVP / running back that has 99 speed before it even starts, or should we curtail that just a bit after watching what happened week 1 for Buffalo?
I say we if it gets to be about week 5, week 6 again, and Buffalo is shutting us up, I think we can go that route again. But until then, it seems like every offseason Nigel's reworking his entire team, and I'm from the camp, if it's not broke, why fix it?
I know I'm going to be keeping close tabs in that Jap right now. I don't know. Every year he's got some new guy, and this year we got some Genji Shimada guy. So just keep tabs. You might get karate kicked when you least expect it.
The Bills are like the Kentucky Wildcats of running backs, like, one and done, just ridiculous talent, pulling a new one the next season. So
it's true. Yeah, but the one thing that Kentucky has that he doesn't, they have a few titles.
Yep, that's true.
Not to rub it in, but we got to give the Lions his due. Lions came out and pulled that one out in a really good Super Bowl.
That's a good segue because I did want to bring up this Lions-Chicago game. Week 1, the Bears, I believe they didn't win the division this last season. The Lions took that. And before the exciting bike entered the scene in the NFC North, the Bears reigned supreme. They were unchallenged. Now the Blazing Truth is in there. Jamie's looking to increase his odds. Still getting it to his young wide receiver. Fucking pulling a blank on the wide receiver's name right now. Damn.
For who?
The Packers.
Oh, LaRon Williams.
LaRon Williams, yep. So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Lions really put it on the Bears, despite having one of the lesser overall teams in the league this season after winning the Super Bowl. So, big start in the NFC North. I expect it to be a competitive division, and we're going to look back at this come Week 12, Week 14, and recall this is one of the more pivotal matchups early in the season.
Yeah, I think Detroit's pretty much here to stay. I mean, I think last year we were pretty much waiting to see if anybody would give the Cowboys a run for their money, and it sure looks like Detroit's going to be a tough out for everybody this year. And now that they got the new dog tamer and TJ Vick at the rookie wide receiver spot, putting up highlight clips on people. I mean,
it's Marcus Vick's godson.
There you go. But, I mean, the Bears are still going to be a tough out. They're going to make the playoffs unless something really messed up happens. I could easily see 3 teams come out of this division. It's that good of a division. And that's not me just saying that because I'm playing this division this year. But, yeah, they're going to have some really good, easy wins. I mean, unless our division gets a little bit better, but we'll see what happens. So
this is breaking news on the trade column. We like to bring you news as it breaks from Slack. If we're running the show, Lamar Miller has hit the trade block from Houston. Still fast, still has a good carry, nice ball carry, can spin, can juke, very agile. He's going to respond to those button presses very quickly. Can run routes, catch a ball. He can jump a little bit for you. If you're looking to upgrade that running back position, hit up Houston.
Sounds like Amir Abdullah showed a lot in that one carry he had last week.
Yeah, I mean, jumping ship a little early potentially, but hey, he's out there if you want him. Washington and Seattle played a pretty good game, it looks like. Washington won 20-10. They put up all the points that were scored in this game were in the first half. I thought these two teams were still drafting because, I mean, I probably saw their draft position move about 15 times in that draft we just had. I mean, the Seahawks had, 4 picks in the first round. Redskins traded away literally half their offense and got Artie Burns and I forgot who else from the Steelers. But, I mean, both these teams got just huge changeovers over in this offseason. Definitely.
So I felt the heartache of that one because the Redskins decided to trade all his good talent to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
For me, week 1. So thanks a lot, Washington. I never give you a shout out in the show, and basically I'm giving you the double finger salute just for week 1. Thank you very much. So other than that, we're going to be talking a lot about these teams' drafts, especially these two. Later in the show, I think I got a nice little draft recap. Me and Ozzy, the Bengals, we had a couple mock drafts that we wanted to keep everybody in the loop going into the draft, and nobody disappointed. There ain't no doubt about that.
It was rather interesting, just the talent and how this draft varied from other drafts that we've had in the Scrub Squad League. Seemed like there was quite a disparity in some of the talent across the rounds, as opposed to...
A little bit.
Yeah.
Very, very top heavy, and a couple positions were loaded where other ones were really weak.
Yep. Not a very well-rounded draft. Is there any other games you'd like to highlight from week 1? I saw the Jets lost to the Patriots 28-31. Oh, that's CPU Patriots now.
Yeah, that was another CPU game that the user felt the hands of a CPU dominate. But it wasn't really. It was a lot closer than another game that we won't talk about on the air too long. But yeah, no, the Jets guy is definitely coming out, wants to show that even though he